From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. Israel's military suffered the deadliest Hezbollah strike since Israel launched its ground invasion of Lebanon nearly 2 weeks ago. The IDF says 4 soldiers were killed and 61 people were wounded in a Hezbollah drone attack on a central Israeli army base Sunday evening. The Lebanon-based Hezbollah called the attack retaliation for Thursday's Israeli strikes on Beirut that killed 22 people. Inside central Gaza, meanwhile, local hospital officials there say an Israeli airstrike has killed at least 20 people, including children at a school. With just days to go before BC's election on October 19th, the BC Conservatives have unveiled their education policy plan. The plan includes reinstating provincial exams for students in grades 10 and 12, restoring letter grades from grade 4 to 9, and ending a program called SOGI 123. The provincial government website says BC's sexual orientation and gender identity program was introduced to help with teaching and to help make schools inclusive and safe for all students. In a news release, Conservative leader John Rustad criticizes the NDP for introducing ideological programs into classrooms that distract from core learning and erode parental trust. Canadian stand-up comedian and broadcaster Mike Bullard has passed away at the age of 67.
It's Open Mic with Mike Bullard.
Bullard's half-brother Chuck Jackson confirmed his death to the Canadian press, noting the coroner is investigating and the exact cause of death is not yet known. The longtime stand-up comedian was known to have health problems. Bullard hosted 2 late-night talk shows, Open Mic with Mike Bullard, that ran between 1997 and 2003 on CTV, and The Mike Bullard Show, which ran briefly on Global between 2003 and 2004. In 2018, he pleaded guilty to making harassing phone calls to journalist Cynthia Mulligan, as well as breaching court orders, and received a conditional discharge. Lisa Laporte, The Canadian Press, Toronto.
And some people are opting to recycle old costumes this spooky season in a bid to make Halloween more sustainable and affordable. Halloween's just over 2 weeks away, and events promoting costume swapping, recycling, even mending are popping up in communities across the country. One expert says they're vital in countering the overconsumption and waste that Halloween triggers every year. Juana Branzi is a professor of sustainability at London's Western University. She says Halloween costumes are typically made of multiple types of polyesters and plastics that are difficult to break down.
They are marketed and targeted for single use and for discarding afterward.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, there are 6 games on the NHL schedule today, including 2 in Canada this Thanksgiving Monday. The Ottawa Senators will host the Los Angeles Kings, and the Pittsburgh Penguins will visit the Montreal Canadiens. Sunday's games saw the Calgary Flames win their 3rd straight with a 4-1 win over the winless Edmonton Oilers, and the Winnipeg Jets scored a 2-1 win in overtime at home over the Minnesota Wild. Baseball, the LA Dodgers pitchers tied the postseason record of 33 consecutive scoreless innings in routing the visiting New York Mets 9-0 in the National League Championship Series opener. They'll play Game 2 tonight, and the New York Yankees will host the Cleveland Guardians in tonight's opening game of the ALCS. The league-leading Montreal Alouettes will host the Ottawa Redblacks today in the final CFL game of Week 19. And it's an important matchup for both AFC East teams in tonight's NFL game. The 3-2 Buffalo Bills will visit the 2-3 New York Jets. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.